Today, in this segment, what we've got is a foundation. Construction is always started from the ground up. There are no buildings being built from the top down. That's what we love about it. So in establishing your foundation, we often have to square off the building or square off what it is you're looking to establish. And once we square off and establish the posts, in this case, each post is designated by a little contact in the circles, indicating that's where we have material going. So our objective is to read. Once again, reading is fundamental. This is a half-inch scale, half-inch to 1 foot, meaning if you were to bust out your tape measure and you were to open up your tape measure, this scale is half-inch to 1 foot, meaning that for every half-inch I have on my tape measure, on here it's a foot. In reality of the print, it's a foot. So half-inch equals a foot. So here we have a 18-foot platform with another 4'9" added to it. We have to read these things and we have to apply these things on the field. So before you get started, you always make sure your numbers add up to give you your overall. That's how you start on any construction, so that you can be on the same page with the art director. When he drew it, he had something in mind, but something may have disturbed him and he miswrote the numbers, or he miscalculated, or you're miscalculating. Sometimes we miscalculate with this tape measure. So be sure you check your numbers before you even get started. And in this case, we've got posts, and that lays out our floor, giving us our floor for the would-be cabin. So I believe that this is telling me that we are here with a country shack on this set. This set happens to have 2 sides, giving us 2 views. So the prop maker is going to always go back and constantly refer to his foundation, because sometimes you have things sitting where lumber may be underneath, and you can avoid that by simply moving it over 2 inches or simply moving it over a half-inch to avoid the hassle. So be sure that as you lay out your foundation, you take some of these things into consideration. Typically, your foreman should have that under control. All right, here we are where we have now a scale of 3/8 to 1 foot. 3/8 to 1 foot, meaning for every 3/8 of an inch on your tape measure equals a foot on print. So the drawer has given us a set of prints that show us detail. That detail is usually outlined by dotted lines. That means pay attention. And when you pay attention, you'll find the detail on number 2. Somewhere in the stack of his prints, you're looking for number 2. When you find number 2, you'll find out what he's referring to in this section here. So remember, reading is fundamental. As we turn the page, we see that his outlined dotted line is pertaining to the action that happens here with the siding, the person standing there on the inside, which would be on stage. As you can see here, he's on the floor. And it's letting us know what's needed. We've got 2x4 for its bottom plate. We've got a 2x4 for its stud. We have a 2x4 for its top plate, which means that's 1 wall. And then what we have up top is we've got a double plate, 7'10" 3/4" inch wall. Reading is fundamental. 7'10" 3/4" inch tall wall. Blocks, double top plate, meaning we're going to be adding something to it that we need to have something nailed down to. So when you go through your prints, remember to always read. Reading is fundamental. All right, welcome back. And remember, reading is fundamental, even when you're blueprint prop making. You're watching, when you're reading the prints, they're not blue, but you're reading prints, and it's very important to pay attention to detail. Today, detail is outline, dotted lines, giving you a letter and a number where it's located in the full set of prints. In this case, it's D2. D2 will look like the door when you get there. D1, circled or in a dotted line, will be appearing here. Sometimes their scale is bigger when you get to that detail, and in this case, as you can see, small picture, bigger picture. In the small picture, you get the full 2 doors, so that you know that there's 4 windows. In the bigger picture, you get just the 2 windows and the detail that dashed line was illustrated. So here we have, this scale is 1.5 inches to a foot. Once again, 1.5 inches means a foot. So for every 1.5 inches you pull out on your tape measure, that'll give you a foot. And so we come across and we're able to see here that this door is this door is a 7-3 door opening, including the casing, from floor to casing, top of casing. So in this case, and in this example, we would have to understand that this casing piece is about 4 inches. My guess would be, we'll call it 3 inches as I was guessing, and now I'm reading. 7'3" to the top of the casing, 7 foot to the top of the door. So that's why reading is fundamental. Pay attention to the detail. In prop making, you pay attention to detail. And we're back one more time. What we have here is a set of prints for Hollywood Prop Making 101. And in this set of prints, we were given details, some details. We've given elevations, and when you look at a set of prints, you'll have arrows pointing to the direction in which the number is speaking about. So in this case, we're looking at number 4. Number 4 has an arrow. See that arrow there? That arrow is pointing to this wall. And that arrow for number 2 is pointing to this wall. So all the detail that you would want to know for wall number 2, you would just simply come over to wall number 2. You find it in all the prints as we see 7, 6, and we come up here and find 2. You'll find that it's an interior wall, and you'll see that it has a window in it. That window is also shown here in the prints. It appears that that window is centered, but you as a prop maker need to make sure that it's centered by A, reading the numbers, and B, putting your tape on the print so that you'll know what the detail is to be built as. All right, so as I said in an earlier episode, you have to pay attention, you have to read. As we have here for another illustration is wall 3. You can see 3 with arrows. We would find wall 3. Wall 3 has 2 windows on it. The 2 windows are going to be given detail of those windows, both for the header casing piece as well as the apron or skirt, whichever you would like to call it. We have all the details are going to be given to us when we read, and as we read, we can see here that this number here means that that molding is already made. We don't have to make that because it's giving you the exact style and molding number to be achieved from the molding shop, and that number is usually universal through whichever shop you happen to be working with. We also see here that we've got a 1x10 freeze type of a mold. That's what it is. You'll find all of the detail, what's needed and what's there. Here's the door. How they finish it is TBD, means to be determined. Remember, that's kind of the out for the drawer. He puts TBD so that you can figure it out. Thank you again for tuning in.